So I am going to try to do this video for the fourth time. First two, I rambled and forgot what I was talking about, which happens. The third time, I was too long-winded, and when I went to upload it, it told me, wah, wah, you have too long of a video edit. No, I don't do that. Not that I don't know how, I'm just too lazy. But I have a small December book haul, which to me is small. I have 8. Some people, that's probably a bunch, but nothing's really been too terribly interesting this month. I think I'm kind of in a slump, but I have found a book I'll show you at the end that I think will hopefully cure that. I have 1 that I ordered from Amazon Marketplace, 2 from Dollar Tree. I found them. I was just randomly going to get some gift wrap and holiday stuff and thought, oh, I'll check the books, which they had a ton. And I could have probably sat for 30 minutes digging through them, but they were just such a mess and a hodgepodge, and there were so many people kind of going around me and getting annoyed that I was standing there that I just kind of said, hey, I can always come back another time. And then I have 5. I met a friend the other night for dinner next to the good used bookstore, so I thought I'd pop in. I had like 25 minutes to kill, which had I had more time, I probably would have found more, but like I said, nothing was really too terribly interesting. So, but the first one I ordered from Amazon is The End of Alice by A.M. Holmes. I honestly cannot remember who was talking about this. It was on BookTube recently, within like the past week or two. It's killing me. I've been for 2 hours trying to figure out who it was. Could be Elena. Could be. But this one, I will try best to let you know what not I personally, but what I grasped from the description was there's this man that's in prison for being a pedophile, and he gets contacted by a woman who, I don't want to say that she's a fan of his. That's really creepy. But she writes to him and says, hey, I'm kind of sort of interested in doing this to little boys. So I don't know if he's going to try to, talk her out of it, or how hopefully she doesn't follow through with it. Because in my opinion, all pedophiles should be castrated. In her case, just shot. I mean, all of them should be shot. That's just my opinion. I'm not forgiving in that scenario. Just all for it. Just shoot them in the head. That may be awful. That may sound awful of me. I am not that person, but when it comes to children and you screwing with their heads and messing up the rest of their lives, you don't deserve to be around anymore. That's just me. The next 2 I know nothing about her. My husband has a crush on her, thinks she's cute. Apparently she's I don't know if she's CNN, Fox News. Oh, MSNBC's Morning Joe. But it's Obsessed, America's Food Addiction and My Own by Mika Brzezinski. I don't know how to say it. Again, this one was just $1. Apparently she's a food Nazi, but in a sense, she's also got her own food demons. So it will be interesting to read about that. And then MWF Seeking BFF. Basically, this woman moves to Chicago with her boyfriend. They do get married, and so she's kind of missing her friends that she left behind. Not left behind, but, she moved, so they're no longer with her. I can completely understand. I moved an hour away. Granted, it's just an hour. It's not a state away, but I do sometimes feel isolated. Yes, I do talk to my friends, email, text message, Skype, all of that fun stuff, FaceTime, but it's not the same. It's not the same as being face-to-face. Like the other night when I went to dinner with my good friend that I work with, it was just like, oh, this is what I needed. So I want to read this one soon because I'm in the same boat. And then the last 5 are the ones that I got from the used bookstore the other day. I have The Caliphs of Baghdad, Georgia, which takes place in 1938 in Georgia. It's basically a teacher who is very knowledgeable. She's more knowledgeable than this little backwoods town. So she's trying to, teach the kids about, it says, 1,000 Nights and a Night, and put together this spring festival like a Baghdad Bazaar, and the backwoods Southern KKK, it does say the KKK get involved, and they're like, you can't be doing this in our town. And so it's just kind of that, and just that mindset of the time of, which scary enough to me feels like it's coming back, like our country is trying to revert to that. You don't want to admit that you're racist, but you really are kind of country, and it's just, it's frustrating. I'm not going to go into politics. We'll end on that. Then The Murder House by James Patterson. I do kind of kick myself for paying $7 for this, but his books are kind of like candy. Usually, you shouldn't eat it, but it's kind of delicious and you have to. But this is brainless fluff. Normally I can sit down with one of his books and knock it out in a couple hours. Then we have Twisted Head, Carl Capitoro, Italian-American memoir. This is the son, and he's writing about his father opening his business in the Bronx, so an Italian-American restaurant. Can't remember. Cappy's Pizza and Sandwich Shop, Sangweech. So it was kind of one of the things that pulled me into it, that it's a food book and that it was 25 cents, so I couldn't pass it up. And then we have another food book. I never watched Top Chef. I know who she is, though. Love, Loss, and What We Ate by Padma Lakshmi, if I'm saying it correctly. This one, I took the sticker off of it because it was covering up her face, but it was $3, and I figured I couldn't pass it up because it was just published this year, and I do suspect that the sticker, I know for a fact, is a Hastings sticker, because I used to go to the Hastings in my old hometown all the time. So I suspect that someone went to their going out of business sale and got this for cheap and then decided, let's see if we can profit from it from taking it to the used bookstore. Smart. I'm totally cool with that because I don't think anybody's read it. It's brand new. And then the last one I got, which I'm totally stoked about, is Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck. For my last video, I did say that I wanted to get all of his books. These are my favorite editions, the Centennial Edition, because they have the deckled edges in the French flaps. Luckily, my copy of East of Eden I found for 99 cents at a thrift store. That was one of those one-off things that maybe will happen again with other books, but I was willing to pay the $9 for this particular edition. So this one I'm hoping to read at the beginning of next year. Can't say in January because I'm going to have a metric ton of overtime that I have to do, and we'll have pretty much no time for reading. But once that's kind of settled down, I'm so excited. They did have these 3 other books of his that I don't have, but the reason I talked myself out of it is they were all the same. They were all this old brown hardcover with the same picture on the front. So I wanted variations. I'll probably kick myself in the butt for not getting them. They were $8 a piece. I don't know if I said that, but I'm going to keep looking. And then the 2 I'm currently reading, Travels with Charlie in Search of America by John Steinbeck. I've started this a couple weeks ago, and it's not that it's not good. Again, I'm just distracted. Squirrel. Everything is just, oh my god, I got a Christmas shop, I got to gift wrap this, I got to steam clean the carpets, I got to... which I have to do tomorrow. Anyways, that one, I'm hoping for both of these that I finish them by the end of the year, so fingers crossed. And then this one... Started this on Monday. The Book of Lost Things by John Connolly. I've had this forever. And it was one of those, I didn't even read the back of it to refresh my memory. I just picked it up and started reading it. 8 pages in, I'm crying. Like, 14 pages in, I'm gut sobbing. Like, someone has physically slammed me in the face with a shovel. That kind of feeling. It's basically this 12-year-old boy named David who lives in London at the beginning of World War II. His mother is sick. She's dying of what I suspect is cancer. It's talking about all of his feelings about her being sick, all the things he tries to do to you know, oh, if I do this, it's going to improve her. Like if I wash my hands, or if I tap 2 times, or if, you know, kind of this OCD stuff. If I do this, it'll keep her around. Well, you know, of course it doesn't. And one of their things together is that they read books. She taught him the love of books. And that, you know, that in itself, I think, is what drew me to this book when I bought it originally, is the whole book part. But losing my dad to cancer a year and a half ago, I swear John Connolly wrote this based off of my precise feelings. The hopelessness, the watching the light in your parents' eyes go dimmer and dimmer to where you're eventually not able to communicate at the last day. You know, you would do anything to get them back. This is honestly, hands down, probably the hardest I've ever cried at a book. I normally don't cry at books, but this one is like sock you in the gut, at least for me. And I told my husband about it. He goes, stop reading it. Stop reading it if it makes you feel that way. And I'm like, no, I'm going to keep reading it. And there's one of the parts that had me sobbing, boohooing, like right before he got home, was, so when David's mother died, it meant that there was no more pain for her, but also no more long journeys to and from the big yellow building where people faded away to nothing. No more sleeping in chairs, no more rushed dinners. Instead, there was only the kind of silence that comes when someone takes away a clock to be repaired, and after time you become aware of its absence because its gentle, reassuring tick is gone and you miss it so. So, myself and this book are about to get cozy. For about another, you know, hour and a half, 2 hours, I plan on sitting on the couch with a beverage and this book and reading until I have to start cooking dinner. The feels. The feels. I'm done. If you've read any of these, let me know, especially this book, what you felt about it. But that's it. I may try to do a book outlet order if they do a Boxing Day sale that's good, because I do have some in my cart that I want. But that's it for now. I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas if you celebrate it, and let me know what awesome books that you get for the holiday. See you later. Bye.